Hey, let's just do a quick comparison here. Not very in-depth, just kind of overview of mapping navigation on the new Amazfit TRX3 Pro. And over here, I have my Garmin Epix 2 Pro as well. So kind of do a bit of comparison here, and this will be pretty much the same for like the Phoenix series or this series, a couple other series within Garmin. Pretty much any Garmin that has mapping on it. So first right here with Garmin, as you see we have like street names. It gives you, the actual streets there as well, along with some other stuff. I have my touch on. I go ahead and just kind of tap it and drag it. It'll also give you other icons, like there is a forest there. Not sure what that one is. It'll show you like bathrooms. It'll show you a whole bunch of different information. If we hit the back button, it'll go back to your location there. On the Amazfit, if I go ahead and try and drag this, what it's going to do, besides from being annoying with the lock, you can also do a double tap if you want to change it to that. But what it's going to do there is just move you between these different views. So in order to actually move the map, you have to go ahead and hit that. And you can also use the buttons if you want to do it that way, or your finger. Zoom and move, and then now you can move this around. Again, you can see it does give you street names there. It gives you the street looks. There is a forest, like there you go. That is, I believe, the park, I want to say, near me. It'll give you that. If you zoom in, it sometimes will give you like locations of like bathrooms and other icons as well. I was doing a hike this morning and it gave me a location of the bathroom and a few other things as well. But it's not going to be nowhere near as in depth of icons and stuff as the Garmin's going to be, or it doesn't seem to know all the street names either, at least in my area. Your mileage may vary with that, but it doesn't seem to know where like every single thing is. Whereas with the Garmin, it seems to know, you can see there, it knows like all the different street names and whatnot. Again, this will get most of them, but not all of them. Then hitting the back will bring it back to your location as well. One kind of funny thing I've noticed with this watch, the Amazfit, is if you do not have it to where north is always pointing up, you can see north is now going that way, it will actually, you say the street names will be like upside down at times. You turn it, now they're kind of sideways, like those street names are kind of fixed on there. As if you look at the Garmin, they're not upside down, they are nicely on here. This is kind of a goofy little thing with the Amazfit. So they're always like in a readable, most readable way. They're not gonna be like upside down like they are on here at times. All right, now I zoomed around, I did find some icons here, so I'm gonna go shopping. Not exactly sure all these are. There is a bathroom icon. Not exactly sure what all these are. Maybe a bar camera opportunity, photo opportunity. That one's a bed. I'm not exactly sure all of these are, but there is actual icons. I just want to show you guys that. And one thing I should say right away is if you get certain Garmin's like this Epix 2 Pro here, you'll pretty much have all the mapping of your, I believe, country. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong in that, but in your kind of your country, it's like I'm in the US, for the most part, all the US maps will be on here. Whereas with the Amazfit, you go onto the app and you just download a certain part of the map of your area. So if you leave that area, which is depending on how big of the area you put onto the watch, but if you go out, say like out of state, you're not going to have the mapping on here, which is very similar to the Apple Watches. Where again, like if I go out of state, I will still have mapping on the Garmin here. I just wanted to show you a few things you can do with navigation on here. I also went over this in my mapping overview of this watch itself. You can put in routes, that way you can follow the route. Come on, come back. So you can follow the route. You want to do that. So this part gets annoying when it's not on your wrist. Come on. All right, I was having a weird bug where I thought I was still on the like where I can zoom or pan around and stuff. So in underneath navigation here, you can put in, you can save your current location, and you'll have it up here in my location. Do back to start point, so just do a straight line, pretty much fastest way to your where you started. Quick prompt that is if you're in a forest or there's water in your way, it'll just tell you to go right through it. That is the same way with other watches as well. And it turns off really fast, as you see there. Or you can do backtrack, which will bring you back the way you just came, and you can do that with Garmin as well, but that works very well in here. And in my experience with that, it actually works very well. Also have a few different navigation settings. So you can do front course or back course. You can do advanced up or north up. If you do north up, I believe the names on the streets will be actually not upside down like they are with advanced up. You can do different reminders here. So you can change your deviation, or you can completely turn it off. A few other reminders. Then you can also change the route that you have traveled, kind of like your breadcrumb color as well under there. Not a whole crazy amount of things you can do with this, but there is a decent amount of stuff. Whereas with the Garmin, you do have more things you can do. So you can do like points of interest, you can do around you, back to start as well, track back or route. You do different courses, you kind of on the Amazfit, different activities here. Or sorry, this will show you the different activities you've done, your saved locations, sight and go as well, coordinates, and then you can just use the map if you just want to do a map. That is amongst many other things you can do on here. So of course the Garmin is going to be a lot more in depth than the Amazfit, but this also costs a lot more money, especially if you get the new Phoenix 8 or 8 Pros now. Where this is $400 this here in the US. You might be able to get one of these used for around that, sorry, what it's called, the Coros. The Garmin Epix 2 Pro, you might be able to get used for around, I would say $400, $500, $600 or so. I say mine's nice and beat up from a year or two of use. Of course, Garmin is definitely a lot more in depth, but if you just want something to have a mapping on here, this will definitely give you that. But that said, I would say the Garmin is going to be, I would say, more reliable. Like, I would trust the Garmin's mapping over what you get on here. So I did go on a hike this morning, and in that hike, about half of the hike, the trails on here, it said it was not actually on a trail. It didn't have anything. It was just kind of an empty, field per se. And the other half actually had a trail on it that we were following. Whereas with the Garmin, it does happen at times as well, but it does not seem to happen as much as with that. You guys let me know what you think though. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.